It's Neil Argus here, and oh boy, we finally got to play some Monster Hunter Wilds on the past weekend. This is one of my most anticipated games for the next year, for sure. I was a huge fan of World, I played it for hundreds of hours. I didn't get too deep into the Monster Hunter Rise. I liked some of the quality of life stuff they did, but the game just didn't grab me as much as World did. Now with the Wilds though, it feels much closer to World than Rise, so I'm definitely excited for it. So yeah, let's talk about it. Pretty much start the demo and get right into the character creator. Just like in Worlds, it's pretty incredible. All the things you can do with the character creator. You can pretty much customize your character in any way, make it look exactly like yourself. After you customize your character and your Palico, you get right into the story bits of the game. I'm not a big story guy, so to me that's not that interesting, but we get into some kind of a rescue mission. We try to rescue these kids, and the game teaches you some of the basic mechanics around the mount, and then pretty much after you save the kids, you get to the camp and they let you choose the weapons. I think it's a pretty nice touch that you get to pick your weapons early, especially for the veterans of the games. I always pick the bow because that's my favorite weapon in the Monster Hunter. And then you just start your first hunt. So you're gonna be hunting this kind of lizard type monster. The first boss is quite simple in its mechanics as expected. Even though I had like a massive lag with the game, killing it wasn't really too hard. It was mostly just dodging the tongue movement and some body slams. I had a bit of a struggle getting used to the binds again with the bow, but eventually I got there. I know it's a controller game, but I've always played Monster Hunter with keyboard and mouse, and to me they definitely improved the keyboard and mouse experience in this game compared to World. So I got like comfortable with my binds. It felt really good to play. I never felt like I was missing out when not playing with the controller like sometimes I did with the World. I also really like the focus mode on this one, especially with the bow. It felt great to aim your shots and stuff, but we're gonna talk about focus mode later on. Just to get through the first boss, get to the kind of a main camp of the game where you can actually equip your second weapon, which is really cool. The second boss is some kind of a weird bear lion hybrid thing. It's still quite simplistic with mechanics, which is great, so you don't get frustrated on the first two bosses already. This one is a bit more tricky because when it runs away, it has like two other ones, so you might end up fighting three of them at the same time. I think here I was a little bit disappointed that they didn't bring the monster riding mechanic from Rise. I really enjoyed riding the monsters, using them to deal massive damage to the other monsters. I thought that was a really fun mechanic. I don't know how other people felt about that mechanic. Maybe that mechanic wasn't that well received, so they didn't add it. Also here, able to have the two different weapons now, so you can switch them on the fly using the mount. I'm a massive fan of this feature. I love both bow and longsword, and I always thought playing World that how nice would it be if you could just bring both of the weapons and then just kind of swap them around depending how you feel, or kind of like depending on the situation with the monster, you might want to play a different weapon. So I'm glad to see it's finally possible in Wilds. Also on the second boss, I kind of figure out more of the focus strike mechanic. You're kind of able to do massive damage when connected to the wound and weak points of the monster. I kind of found this mechanic really good, especially with the bow. I loved it. You basically just see these red glowing spots on the monster, and you can just do a massive damage and stun the monster. After killing the second boss, I was pretty satisfied with the game and extremely happy to be back in the Monster Hunter. I've seen a lot of discourse online talking about the performance of the game. I was playing the game on a 1660 Ti, which is pretty much the minimum specs for the game. I really wasn't expecting to get a proper performance on the game, and I definitely didn't. I turned on all the performance settings on the game, and it made it completely blurry mess to reach 60 FPS on this machine. I think the 1660 Ti was rated like 720p 30 FPS for this game, so I think if you're running on a lower spec computer, you might not get a good experience. I did have the PS5 version on the side, and it looked great. I think it ran even better, and yeah, if you don't have a good computer, you might want to get a PS5 to play this game. Yeah, overall, the experience was quite good. Even though the computer wasn't good enough to handle the game, I still can't wait for February and play the full game. I think playing this beta kind of made me go from like, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to buy it on release, but this one definitely made me to buy it on release. So it pushed me over the edge. Yeah, tell me in the comments if you played the Wilds beta, how did it make you feel? Are you excited? Are you disappointed? Give this video a like, subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.